Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have polar bears, or polar bear, just polar bear from DisneyNature. This is a 1 hour and 25-minute documentary, sort of. It's definitely a documentary, but it's not like, here's how they live, here's, they eat this many fish a day, and then they sleep this many hours, and this, it's not... Let's just say it's not technical in any way. You're not going to find out how much fur they grow in a year, or how many, like I said, how many fish they eat in a week or whatever. This is very much about just sort of living in their realm, and they're almost just you almost can't even see them in the background. It looks like a white screen practically to me. This is just the story of a family of polar bears living in the Arctic, and told from the point of view of a young female polar bear, voiced by Catherine Keener. Now, this is not the kind of thing where they animate their mouths and they start talking and telling, having wacky adventures. No, this is meant to sort of humanize, anthropomorphize a type of creature, like they've done with penguins and elephants and a number of other documentaries they've had over the years, just sort of going through a day in the life, or literally a year in the life of these creatures. And we get to see her grow up with her mother and her brother, and the trials they face. And it's told from a very lighthearted, sweet point of view. It is as if she was telling this story. And of course, in order to tell this, we have to give them human attributes. And yeah, it's that sort of middle ground where, yeah, it's educational. It can be, you can definitely learn what it's like to be a polar bear, but it's also it's complete work of fiction, based on the footage that they were able to capture while out there in the Arctic. And some of this stuff it's just gorgeous. It's from 2022, so it's really new, and they've won awards for all their previous stuff, probably even for this one. The crews that go out there and shoot from such tremendous distances, and sometimes close up, but in this case, it's really hard to sort of sneak up at a polar bear in such wide open landscapes, especially when there isn't much of a landscape that anyone is used to or can find as stable as it used to be. With the polar ice caps melting, and just the ice going away. As it states at the very end, yes, this is very much going to tell you about climate change, not bang you over the head with it, but it is very much about how these bears need the ice to live, because without the ice, the food source, like the seals, maybe some walrus, some others, they won't stick around either. They die off. And when they die off, the bears don't get to feed. And when the bears don't get to feed, they die off. And things can get really, really rough for them. There are some very sad, dark moments in this. It's also some, not gory, let's just say, but they find a beached whale at one point, and it's a bearapalooza, blubber-eating bearapalooza. Lots of bears suddenly show up, smelling this thing from miles around, and everybody takes a chomp. And yeah, there's also dark parts in this where you have to when you very much realize that the greatest threat to polar bears beyond hunger and starvation is male adult polar bears. Because yeah, in order to stave off that hunger and starvation, guess what they're willing to eat? Yes, little bears. They might even be their father for all they know. So yeah, it's a brutal place. Well, why don't they just move someplace that's nicer? They can become brown bears. No, no, that's not necessarily how it works. And maybe some might migrate at some point, might find a different food source, but that definitely would change sort of the ecology of things. And I am not the scientist to explain it to you. You will have to do that research yourself from people who are educated in these things and know facts. Same thing with climate change. We can put it off and pretend that it's not real as long as we want, just so we don't have any responsibility. But yeah. Anyway, this is very much a call to action, just to say, hey, you know what? If you're not going to do it for your kids, do it for the polar bears. Cute, adorable, fuzzy white kids. So, yeah, do that for them. Because while we may not die off in the next few decades, except through our own stupidity, some of these polar bears may not be around for much longer themselves. So, yeah, this is, it's one of these just absolutely gorgeously shot worlds in which humans are not seen at all in this. In some of the other documentaries, I think humans sort of show up, and even during the credits, some of the crew shows up. I think that might be a National Geographic thing. This is a DisneyNature thing. So I don't know. Either way, there's not a human to be seen in this. You only hear Catherine Keener's voice, and it gives you an idea of the world that they live, barely survive, and die, and give new life in. So, yeah, it's a full circle type of thing. It is something that anybody in the family can enjoy, from little kids to grown-ups, and yeah, it's the kind of thing you want to put on a big screen, 4K, and just let it sweep. Just take your, it's absolutely gorgeous. Except, of course, even the parts where the ice and snow that they used to get around on is no longer there, and you're like, this is an alien world. The things that we've known for generations aren't around anymore. How we get from place to place on solid ice doesn't exist anymore. And that's also another thing they have to deal with. It's not easy just to learn how to swim right away when you're a cub, but you still got to keep moving, especially when those big male bears want to come and eat you. So, yeah, all sorts of treachery going on up there. But yeah, so yeah, it's a nice balance of sweetness and a little bit of terror. But it's something that, yeah, I mean, it's how things work in that realm. And so yeah, give it a shot, give it a look. DisneyNature always does a great job with these documentaries. So let's pick tomorrow's episode.
176.
176. Can we get not a documentary? We'll burn through them all eventually, but I want to see something that's not a documentary. Nope. Nope. Okay. At least a lot of these things have changed. We had, sharks, we had polar bears, we had dogs. We had, what was before the dogs? Man, my brain is melting. Oh, it's dancing. We had dancing, dogs, sharks and dolphins, polar bears, and now we have India from above. So yeah, we had a lot of animals, but this is now, I guess, something about geography and culture. I don't know. We'll find out. This is just, maybe it's just really atmospheric and just gorgeous flyover shots, and I don't know. But it fits in the documentary thing, so category. India from Above is what we're watching next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that. Bye.